Good evening, this is Herschel. I want to welcome you to another episode of The Truth. In 2 Kings chapter 13, we see that Elisha has become sick, the prophet, and beginning in verse 20, he passes away. And Elisha died, and they buried him. And the raiding bands from Moab invaded the land in the spring of that year. So he died, and he was buried. Then we're going to see something miraculous happen in verse 21. So it was, as they were burying a man, that suddenly they spied a band of raiders, and they put the man in the tomb of Elisha. And when the man was let down, he touched the bones of Elisha. He revived and stood on his feet. So another man died. They buried him in the tomb with Elisha. And when he touched Elisha's bones, God raised him from the dead. He brought him back to life. So this shows us that the prophet Elisha, his power to perform miracles did not come from himself, but from God. Because even his bones, God performed a miracle through his dead bones. Now, in Matthew chapter 28, we see another person raised from the dead. Beginning in verse 1. Now after the Sabbath, as the first day of the week began to dawn, Mary Magdalene, the other Mary, came to the tomb. And behold, there was a great earthquake, and an angel of the Lord descended from heaven, and came and rolled back the stone from the door, and sat on it. His countenance was like lightning, and his clothing as white as snow. And the guards shook for fear of him, and became like dead men. But the angel answered and said to the woman, "Do not be afraid, for I know that you seek Jesus who was crucified. He is not here. He is risen. As he said, come see the place where the Lord lay. And go quickly and tell his disciples that he is risen from the dead, and indeed he is going before you into Galilee. There you will see him. Behold, I have told you." So they went out quickly from the tomb with fear and great joy, and ran to bring his disciples word. So here, Jesus had been crucified 3 days earlier on a cross, and he'd been buried. And they had come to the tomb to anoint the body and to pay the respects and do whatever they did in that day. Now, when they got there, there was a great earthquake. The stone was rolled away by an angel. And he told them, the Lord is not here. Verse 6. He is not here. He is risen. As he said, come see the place where the Lord lay. God raised a man from the dead that touched the bones of his prophet Elisha. So why is it hard to believe that God raised his son from the dead? You know, the angel said he is not here, for he is risen. As he said, he told that he would rise again the third day. Come see the place where he lay. You can see where he lay. He's not here. Go and tell his disciples the good news. God has power to raise from the dead. If you want to be resurrected, be obedient to the gospel of Christ. Follow him, believe on him, have faith in him, confess him, repent of sins, and be baptized for the forgiveness of those sins. And you too, you and I both, can be resurrected from the dead to live with him eternally. Thank y'all. I'd like to invite you to follow me on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube. Please like and share and subscribe. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below.